the South African Municipal Workers Union, Samwu, is seeking legal advice after the City of Johannesburg terminated over 100 employees' contracts. Most of the affected employees are those whose contracts were converted from fixed term to permanent. The city, however, recently declared the conversion of the contracts as irregular. Let's take a look at this. We're joined by Karabo Ramahuma, SA Municipal Workers Union Cluster Secretary. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. So according to a statement released by the City of Johannesburg, paragraph 7 reads, and I quote, Samwu has gone on record that they will make no representations and that the employees' attorneys of record have also indicated that they will not make any representations on the date of the 9th of March 2022 as stipulated by the city. To give sense to this, you were supposed to meet with the city and they allege that you reneged on this. Your response?
Good evening and rather good afternoon to the viewers at home. You know, we want to set it straight and place it on record that we are dealing with a city that is not honest, that people who speak on its behalf are very dishonest in the sense that we have been responding to the city as South African Municipal Workers Union. We first communicated with them on Friday the 4th. After they were given a letter, they've given our members letters. We again wrote to them yesterday. But one thing that is strange, the city has not responded to us. And if they claim that they have responded to us, I'm sure they can prove we are in a...
Mr. Ramahuma, are you still with us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm still with you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Am I still audible?
Yes, please. You froze there for a second. Please finish your thought.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the city is not honest. The city is lying, to put it blunt. We have never said we are not going to respond. We have responded. We have 2 of the correspondence sent to them. We believe that the city is just being anarchic. And I'm sure if that's what they want, anarchy will be met with anarchy.
The city has constantly said that the fixed-term contracts which were tainted by an irregular and improper action of conversion have been regularized. You disagree?
We disagree because the City of Johannesburg is not a court of law. If they want to do that, they know where they must start. They must start at court. That's why we of a belief that the city is behaving in an anarchic fashion, doing things that they know that the law does not permit them to do, but nevertheless wanting to do them. And especially this behavior of theirs, even on going on public speaking to people, speaking about people's contracts without speaking directly to the affected people, it says a lot. And you know, one thing that it's also worrisome, the city creates an impression that we are a reluctant party to interact with. That is not the case. If the city was interacting with us, we have a forum in the city, it's a legislated forum called Local Labor Forum. This is where such issues would have been vented out. This is where such issues would have been resolved upon before it gets to where it's going now. Because where it's going, I'm sure we are at a point of no return. If the city is not intending to sober up, we are definitely not pulling back. We are going ahead and we'll take this head on.
Mr. Ramahuma, why the resistance? Is it not the prerogative of the incoming political party to then get people that they believe will take their mandate forward?
It becomes their prerogative where they employ political staff, people who do strategic things, and it also becomes perhaps their prerogative when they employ Section 56 and Section 57. Members that we are speaking about are junior employees. Some, you know, today before coming to this interview, I received a very painful SMS from one who relates a story that she has been support staff and in the DA office, there would have been a media liaison, a PA, an office manager who were hired to service the DA caucus. When the previous administration came, found them there, converted them with all others that are converted. Today she's told that her contract has been regularized. And I'm just saying we have many of those who really want to speak, but they are scared to speak for fear of victimization. But we as some, we speak on their behalf. and we will set the record straight and clarify this thing. So I'm just saying we are dealing with a bunch of dishonest people here who go on public and on media, intentionally distort the truth while knowingly that what they are saying, it's actually far from the truth. So that's the situation we're dealing with, and we can't do anything if they don't want to repent. We shall meet them in the streets, we shall meet them in court, we shall meet them in every corner where we will meet with each other.
What do you believe is the truth? What do you think is at play here?
What is at play, and what is at play was said in writing. I'm sure we should share with yourselves as Newzroom Afrika these things. You know, the mayor, when this whole fracas started, the mayor in an internal communique speaking about this route that these people are, she's the first one, by the way, who came with this unfounded and nefarious narrative that these people are ANC political staff and employees. And she said so on an official communique, and even went to an extent of saying we don't want to work with them because they are ANC, we want their people. So we know we must be honest, and we must read the letter of the law. First and foremost, in local government, it's not like national government where a party will have a full complement of political staff. In local government, when we speak of political staff, we'll perhaps be speaking about a chief of staff, a political advisor, there may be a director in that office. But all these other staff are service delivery agents. They are administrators. They are very junior in nature, and none of them can be classified as political staff. DA must just unmask these nefarious intentions and say we want to put our people. They have said we have situations where, for instance, in one of the centers, let me show you where this thing comes from. It's not only with political staff. One of the MMC walks in one of the revenue centers and say, no, we need to change the face of this place. We need to employ more white people so that customers can gain confidence and start paying, So I'm just saying we are not dealing only with dishonest but racist people who really have scant regard for blacks. And we'll say also, we'll tell you why we say so. You must check since December what they have advertised. MMC Leonard was on record saying, no, we are not firing these people. They will advertise and be considered. That's a blue lie. Majority of people who are affected, about 98% of them, they are blacks and or African. And in the city, when you apply currently, all positions, you can go in their website currently, the EE targets are Indian and white. Now, how are you then saying you are going to consider this 98% when you set the EE targets at Indian and white? And by the way, maybe we need to place it on record. We don't even know where those EE targets come from. People just come in and look at the place, just like this one who went to a revenue center and say wants to introduce whiteness so that they can be confident. Clearly, in their eyes, blackness is a resemblance of lack of confidence. We understand why they want to take out these people. The mayor has been on record that these are not their people, they want their people. So that's the whole truth of what is happening. All these shenanigans, all these circles that they are doing, it's nothing else but an intention to really try to create space for their people. I'm sure we would all know that before the elections they would have made concessions with people. They would have promised those that did not reflect on their list that not one will employ you. Now they can't find space in the city. They can't find. They are targeting this. These are not the only people who are affected. These are not the only people who are. We've said before, and we'll say it. Although it makes MMC are not uncomfortable. There is a white lady in the speaker's office. She's a deputy director, and Miss Not alleges that that lady is there because she was seconded. In the city, secondment has got a duration, and we are challenging her as South African Municipal Workers Union to produce her secondment agreement of the third person that we are speaking about and show us, because to the best of my knowledge, she's been in that office since 2012. So
Mr. Ramahuma, unfortunately, for the purpose of time, if I could maybe ask you a question in terms of moving forward. These that you call shenanigans today, we could find ourselves very well in the same position in 5 years' time. That's if the current administration is removed. Again, each and every single party bringing in their own people that believe that they will take their mandate forward. So what to do with this particular issue should it, happen again in 5 years' time?
We hope in 5 years we'll have much soberer people who are not ill-advised. This thing should not have happened in the first place. It's not regulated for in-law. That's why we say whoever who wants to do it will first have to go to a court of law and convince the court. So we don't expect it to happen. We don't expect illegality to happen. It's criminality, it's legality what is happening.
Karabo Ramahuma is the South African Municipal Workers Union Cluster Secretary. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon.